Hey friend, how you doing? Welcome to Soulvine. This is Jamie. Let's check in with the energies, see what is going on, Pisces, and how we can support your journey. All right, kicking off as we head into the week ahead for our wonderful Pisces friends. Okay. Let's see what the current energies are, what the guidance is for you. Just remember, this is a general read. We're going to get you, or do what we can best to get you some guidance and, you know, perhaps that sign, some understanding right now of what you need regarding your story. Okay, so first up, we do have the Ten of Swords showing the current energy, and the Two of Pentacles sitting in your challenge position. Your influence, we've got the Four of Swords. That did show up in reverse. If you're new here, I don't read reversals, I just connect into the energy. So I'll let you know what is going on as we pull out the cards and dive into it. All right. Past impacting presently. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Let's take a look in the headspace. We've got the Two of Wands, near future. Got the Temperance energy. This has been coming up a lot for you lately, Pisces. Power in this situation. I think that was a Strength card. Yes, it was. Strength energy. What's going on around you? We have the Nine of Wands, hopes and fears. So we had a lot come out there. So we've got the Queen of Wands, we've got the High Priestess, the Lovers, and the Three of Cups. That is not ideal, but I'll dive into that. And let's see where this is all going. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Let's jump in. Let's get into it and see what is doing. So right now, Pisces, checking into the energy. Current situation is showing the Ten of Swords. So something here that is over. Something here that you're either absolutely exhausted, kind of done with the situation, not sure what to do next, perhaps feeling somewhat betrayed, or something hasn't worked out. And it seems like the challenging part here was trying to potentially manage something, manage someone, something here that caused the ending was unbalanced, okay? And I think, you know, maybe there's some knowing or something here about the dynamic or about this situation that has put you in a position of just not sure what to do next, even though you may know the truth of this situation, or maybe there's something here about accepting parts of that situation. Because what it seems like, as you know, this Four of Swords came out upside down. You know, if you connect into that right now, in terms of that, there's something here where I feel you may not be taking care of yourself first, or thinking of yourself first. So usually when, you know, there is a situation that goes on that is out of our hands, that all we can do is look within or connect within. If we're constantly worried about what the other person is doing, or what the other situation is doing, or what the other dynamic is doing, and we're constantly focused on them, you're losing yourself in the mix here. So it's about coming back within self and to self, first and foremost, on what do you need to do for you. Yep, sure, if you want to be strategic, you know, around that situation, if you want to, you know, think forward, whatever that is, okay, cool. But what ultimately are you doing for you? Not thinking about them, not thinking about that situation. This is about focusing on you. Somewhere along the way, there's a lot of focus has gone on other things or other people, and it needs to come back to you, Pisces. That's really important message for somebody here, about coming back to you first and not worrying about everything else that's going on. Because whatever's happened, it's a bit back and forth right now. There's a little bit of unbalanced energy. with something that has ended, or perhaps there was some form of betrayal, or perhaps there was some form of you're just over it, tired, exhausted, you know. This is where you need to come back to, is yourself and caring for yourself, to take care of you, you know, as part of your own healing journey, as part of your own experience to awaken and expand, because there is some new opportunity or new beginning, and that has shown upon you, you know. And this Ace of Pentacles is a reminder here that with whatever has ended, because this is not something new. I don't feel this is something new that's ended, or new that you know is in the mix right now. And what I mean by that, maybe there was a relationship of some kind, and that can come in any form of relationship. You know, it could come with family, it could come with friends, it could come with a romantic partner. I think there's always been this unsettled feeling somewhere with this situation, okay? But maybe now is where you are in the thick of it, or dealing with something particular around it. But when that initially occurred, you had a new opportunity also present itself. I feel like you got this fresh look, fresh insight, and in some way you've been drawn back in for some reason, or the things that you ignored, thinking there is this new beginning, the unsettled feeling is still present. Okay, so take again what resonates, but this is about coming back to you and looking after yourself, because you do have the Two of Wands. Okay, and the Two of Wands is in your headspace. So you're really, this is about your plan forward. So I can see perhaps you are being strategic. I can see perhaps that you're looking for a way to, you know, look at, okay, I've got this new opportunity. I'm also dealing with this crap. You know, how do I do this? How do I move forward? And I think there's a few things, right? There may be some choice or some decision, and there could be someone else involved. But again, I want to come back to you here, because this energy is leaving something behind with this new direction. And I think there's some recognition here of what actually lights your fire inside, you know, for yourself, Pisces, because this is an important piece here. There could be a partnership of some kind, but you've really got to think about yourself here and be a little bit more, you know, strategic. Stop worrying about everyone else. What is it that you want and that you need? And I feel like this is a really important time to stand in that, okay? Because as you come into this, the energy, you know, as you move forward, you do have the Temperance energy. So I feel there's a little bit of your own self in crafting and composing these little parts of yourself, you know, that gives to what you need, but also something that grounds you. So, you know, I think there is an emotional experience that you're going through, but also one that's helping you ground if you choose to look at it that way. This is helping you get where you need to go. Choose your battles wisely, okay? If you've got a hunch on something, if you've got a feeling on something, because I'm going to come back here shortly, or get over here shortly, whatever's happening and whatever's, you know, unraveled, you're confronted with and dealing with, this is something that you may not be used to, you know, in focusing solely on you. Because I do feel things are coming into balance. This is something that is, you know, trying to manage something that's been a little unsettling, where this is, you know, emotionally connected, 1 foot in the water, you've got 1 foot on the ground, okay? You've got the insight. If you know, sometimes the Hangman, there's that insight. This is Sag energy, okay? So this is knowing who you are, knowing what you want, knowing what you're going after, and also trusting that the things are lining up as they need. Again, I feel like you've got an inkling on something here, Pisces, that perhaps once you ignored, and it's giving you an opportunity that may feel unsettling, but an opportunity to kind of shift something here, to do what you need to do, that's going to give you the peace and you the harmony and you the balance and you coming back to self, because something's unsettled that part of you. Your power in the situation. Strength energy. I like this with the power, okay? Leo energy, but the power here is about, there's something about the way that you hold yourself and carry yourself, Pisces, when you're controlled, when people know you're in the room, when people, how good is this? When you know you so well and everyone else is wondering what your next move is. You know, think of that heart, that lion energy in the jungle, protective, protecting their domain. But they're not crazy. They know what battles to fight, you know. They know what to protect. They know what to care for. But also with this energy, while it's interesting because Leo energy comes up here in the masculine energy, but what it's also showing us is the feminine here knows how to tame the beast, you know. So there's something about it, whether this is something internal to you that you're working through, this is your strength, this is your power in the situation, you've got the strength energy, it's beautiful, but it could also be, you know, how to engage and enter and stay and maintain your true core essence, not the one that's rattled, not the one, even though you might be feeling it on the inside, you know how to approach, you know how to deal with the situation. And I think this is again asking you to come back to self and find that wisdom and that power of self-control to go do what you got to do. You've got something special that you know how to deal with this situation. And I feel like that's an important piece of coming back to that, okay? Because if you're not, what's happening is that your energy is going everywhere and you're not coming back to core self. And I feel like for some of you, that's where this has gone a little bit pear-shaped, right? When we're focusing on other people and focusing on what they're doing, on how they're feeling, on what they're going to do next, you're giving your power away to that. How do you bring it back? And I feel there's something important there. Because the Nine of Wands, this is your current environment. The Nine of Wands is very much talking about you being in the thick of it. You gotta, you know, this is you don't have to do anything. At the end of the day, this is your own journey and you choose what you do, okay? But Spirit's kind of saying to you here, you're in the, you're fighting a little battle right now, okay? But this battle, you've gone this far. This is standing up for you, standing up for your truth. It doesn't mean that you're even fighting anything. Sometimes that battle is within, you know, doing what you need to do to take care of you. You know, the sacrifices that you've made. Okay, we'll look back, certain regrets. Okay, that's cool. We can't change that. So what can we do going forward? And I feel like catch your breath, regroup, and time to keep moving forward. Okay, Pisces? So keep persevering. Keep persevering. But what's interesting here, these hopes and fears, there's something intuitively here. What I don't like about this, straight up, and I'm just going to tell you, I don't like this at all because Queen of Wands, when I have the Three of Cups, the Lovers, and the High Priestess, is pretty much saying some of you knew intuitively someone was doing something not appropriate, okay? The Queen of Wands, look, this can come in two parts, but this is sitting in hopes and fears. Someone here is in a third-party situation or there was a third-party situation going on, okay? As I said, when I have a Queen of Wands with the Three of Cups and the Lovers, Queen of Wands represents here the third party, okay? Someone was just having fun and I think being carefree and not caring. And intuitively, someone knew this, okay? Intuitive, someone knew this. What's interesting is I don't feel this energy is here right now, okay? And what I mean by that, I don't think there's a third-party situation going on right now. I feel this has had something to do with why this occurred, but maybe something's coming up about this situation and bringing it up. I'm going to dive in a little bit more. I do want to dive in a little bit more, but let's see where this is going. Because right now, in terms of the potential outcome, you have the Seven of Pentacles with the Five of Wands. Yeah, someone's challenged here on what to invest in. Something is a little not on the same page, or maybe a lot not on the same page here. There's something that is just not sitting right about where you want to invest and whether it's going to get you the outcome that you need. And I think this is a part of trusting your intuition. You know, when something's off, trust that. So this might be a reminder of when something was off, if that makes sense. I'm going to pull a few more cards here because I want to see more of what this is about. I'm actually going to get a different deck. I just want to get a little bit more of what went on here with this ending or this challenging component or part that you're in right now. And then get a little bit more into this hopes and fears and why this is showing up. So let's just check into that, Pisces. And if you're still here, it means that you're very connected to this reading, and or you just, you're a regular here and you hang about, and I appreciate that. Just to let you know, I do have, I have moved my membership to Substack. So what that means is the membership itself is more just like a community where I'm sharing more on midlife, so kind of integrating, career, relationships, and more putting out articles and, life nudges to help us through that. If you want to check it out, the latest one I've written about is, thinking about regrets in life and thinking that, we're making choices not to have regrets, but the point in time where we may be sitting right now is the regrets that we may have and how to handle that and how to deal with it. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link below so you can, take a peek. It's free. You can look at that anytime. But maybe that, article might help you resonate. And if you want to subscribe, you can do. That's great. Just, supports and helps build my following. As you guys know, I like to write. So... and share some truths and wisdom, I think experiences we've all been on. So let's take a peek here at this Ten of Swords and what this is about. Yeah, so this is about some ending of a marriage or a connection, a significant connection here. For some of you, this could be with an organization as well, but the Hierophant, is around some commitment that you had with someone, more of a spiritual connection, or that's what, something that had depth, something that had commitment. So I feel like for some of you, this was a marriage at some point in time. What do we need to know with this Two of Pentacles? Wow. So we've got the Nine of Swords. So something here is very unsettling, Pisces. There's no doubt. Whatever's going on, it could be that you're not sure what to do. And I can see you're not sure what to do. What's the advice on this? The Moon. Again, trust your intuition, Pisces. Okay, trust your intuition here. Even though you may not see it, you know it. There's something here, You've got two very strong intuitive cards here. Maybe some of you have been questioning someone's intentions or motives. Maybe you made a decision to end it. Trust why you ended a situation, okay? I think that's also important. Let's get a little bit more on this Queen of Wands energy. What do we need to know about this Queen of Wands energy? Queen of Pentacles. Nine of Hearts. And then we've got the King of Wands and Four of Swords. I feel there's someone here. I don't know if there's a past energy or an energy around Pisces that you may know of, or again, you've got a niggle, but I feel like this energy is a past energy. I don't feel like it's a present energy, because what this is someone here that sees that you're happy, okay? Sees that you're grounded, happy, connected to self. There is a King of Wands energy around you. So Leo, Sag, Aries energy, but it's something about this energy looking at you and wanting, I think there's someone that, I'll put it out to you, something else, even if this is not about, or maybe something in the past, long past ago, that you had someone who wasn't supportive, or there was a third party energy. I think there's a couple of things going on. I think some of you sometimes may question, pardon me, someone's intentions, but not necessarily their intentions, someone else's from the past. But I think for some of you too, maybe you found yourself just as this fun, free-going energy, and maybe there's a part of you that you're missing, okay? Whether that, you know, that sexy, prowess back, black cat energy, you know, where you just had fun and you were free and you were doing your thing. And even though you were in a relationship or a commitment or whatever that was, there was this fun, free energy about yourself. And maybe right now that if you do have a partner or seeking a partner or looking at some form of stability, I feel like there's a form of stability that you do have and that you're anchored in right now. So this could be a person, could be a career, could be your home. Take what resonates. But I feel like you do have someone around that is looking at ways on how to support you. This is what it seems like how to get back to your happy place of feeling connected, feeling stable, feeling, you know, good within yourself. And maybe there's a part of yourself that you feel like you're missing as well. So, you know, you could be trying to move forward and, like I said, making great strides in your life right now. But I feel like there's something that is a little unsettling for you. But I also feel that you have someone around who's trying to help you through this, Pisces. I don't know what it is that you're doubting exactly, and I don't know if there is some fear of another energy being around, but maybe more so you're questioning the stability of something because of something that's happened or something that you're visiting here that's kind of showing up. Yeah. Because I don't feel you super stressed about it. What I feel, and I don't feel it's in your energy right now, this third party. I do not feel it's in your energy right now, but it's something that you know or something that you've experienced or something about your intuition. But I feel like this is more about your happiness and parts of you that you want to reconnect to. And I feel like you're doing good and okay, but I still feel like there's this part of you is like there's also parts of you that you don't know, or trying to find something about yourself that you're trying to dig deep to go, where is this person within me? I can't seem to reach him or her, you know? That's what it feels like. It's like, and you have someone here that's really trying to help you, who's trying to, you know, maybe sees the parts of you that is scarred, that is hurt, you know, that is loving, and that knows you when you're in your happy place, and maybe again is trying to help you here. Let's have a look more of this outcome. Two of Wands. So back up here about your plans. Yep. So share what the advice is. The Devil. Okay. What do we need to know about this Devil? Five of Hearts, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. Yeah, Pisces. I'm just going to say here a few things, okay, in terms of this outcome and things to consider here. Right now, there is some clash that's going on about where to put your time, energy, effort. And maybe too, you're trying to navigate something right now in your life, you know, where you're meant to be, who you're meant to be doing with. There's something here about that big question mark and something feeling unsettled for you. But I do feel in terms of your plans to have the Devil energy here, sometimes there can be a point in time of over planning, overthinking, over worrying about everything. In saying that, there's something here about either regrets or a sense of loss or a sense of something about what you've once built, or looking at the pressure of that, okay? Intuitively, there's still one more. I feel like there's one more thing we need to know here that, can you reveal, thank you, what we need to know? Queen of Wands. Okay, so this Queen of Wands is coming up again. This is a King and Queen of Wands, to be mindful of that. So there is a partnership of some kind, or someone that feels like you're their partner. But this Queen of Wands is coming in about the regret of something that you thought you were working on with someone. And the pressure of that. But I feel that that's going. It's just choosing what you're doing next. Yeah, but you're worried about this Queen of Wands, or worried about your moment and move. And again, Five of Pentacles, you're at a loss around something here, Pisces. What do we need to know about this Queen of Wands? Four of Pentacles. Who's not letting go? What are we not letting go of here? What's this? So you have a, this is like a page of wands showing up here. There's something here about some news or some communication with someone that you can't let go of. What else do we need to know about this? The Sun. Again, it's like you're trying to find your happy place with something or someone that you knew. What's the relationship between this Queen of Wands and this Page of Wands, please? What's this relationship? What is it that we're not seeing or need to see? Because I feel like the Sun wants to open this up. Princess of Hearts, so Page of Cups. An Ace of Wands. And Prince of Pentacles. So I don't know, for some of you this has got to do with children, or for some of you this has got to do with, this is a little bit more younger energy is what I'm feeling here, okay? Maybe there was someone in your life that you were quite curious about at some point in time. These are definitely younger energies, but I'm also getting a sense here that there's some excitement, or there was some excitement here around this, but it's got you to a place of a loss with it. So I don't know if there was some plans that didn't follow through, or you feel cheated out of. And that's where it's kind of hard to go now. Where do I invest my time? Where do I invest my energy with these people or this situation? Because something's changed here. And I think that's why maybe you're feeling unsettled, is because you thought you were going a certain direction, or there was plans happening, and those plans I feel didn't happen. So now it's maybe a big part of like, how do I find my happy? Because, and it's not that you're not happy, but you know, I feel this was something or someone significant to you that changed, Pisces. And it's, you know, not necessarily starting again, but finding what that is, or, you know, that part of your life, like where are you meant to go with it, you know? And I think that's what you're navigating. But ultimately, what I see here is you are feeling a little bit stuck. I'm being real on that, you know, and there is some form of regret I feel that you're dealing with, but it's coming back to, I think there's a part of you that is missing this version of yourself, this Queen of Wands, you know, that light, that shining energy that people are naturally attracted to. It's not that that's not what you are. It's, I don't think you're feeling it, okay? And that's what you're trying to, I feel, get connected to. I don't feel like there's anything dodgy going on around you right now, but something around a relationship or a dynamic that was unsettled at some point in time has got you in this situation. And I feel like that's what's ruffled your feathers, because you're perhaps looking back, how did I get here? Why is this happening? Why, you know, there's things that I feel like are a little out of your control. And this is where it's like, how do you get back to you and focused on you and looking at the things that you can do? Because something's been revealed to you. I think something has shown up here around a situation, around a dynamic that has changed, and it's like, well, what do you do next with that? And Spirit's kind of letting you know that there is a bit of a pressure to build or start again, but there's also a lot of excitement here, Pisces. I think, you know, where to invest right now is not a place where there's constant battles. It's not a place. Times have changed. Times have changed. So where are you going to invest your time and energy? And you know what? You don't have to have all the answers right now, but I think it's relinquishing or removing your energy to places and situations that are constant battles or constantly not on the same page, because that's okay if things aren't on the same page. So how can you get there? How can you have those conversations? How can you show up for that? But I think it's, you know, choose your battles and choose them wisely right now seems to be a key theme. But I do feel like some of you could be traveling or could be looking at, you know, going to see someone or going to connect with someone. But I do feel like there's a sense of regret or a sense of loss here, in addition to, you know, maybe some of you felt abandoned or are dealing with some abandonment matters right now. Like there's a lot of loss that's felt, but I feel there's also, you know, in that unsettling energy, there's also a part of you that knows that this is where life is right now. So what do you do next? And I think Spirit's kind of, you know, saying, hey Pisces, I see you. And you do have someone that's really supporting you here, or will show up and be supporting you. Like they see what you're going through. So I do feel that you're loved. They do know that, you know, even if you're feeling a bit messy, you know, that person is there for you, Pisces, okay? So just remember that. Yeah, and do find those things that make you happy, you know, or that you enjoy doing, that bring that life into you, that you get back to this version of you that you remember, you know. It's just going to be a bit different, and it's fun when you get there. Anyway, be gentle on yourself, friend. I hope this connected and resonated for you. We'll catch you soon. Bye now.